Okay, I'm mainly addressing unlikely voters in this video, but if you're somebody who is also, you know, question why you keep voting for this Democratic and Republican uniparty we have here and these establishment candidates they put forward, I'm also kind of addressing you too. So there's this idea that people will often push that if you vote for a third party in the general election, you're going to end up handing the party or the election over to, the opposite side. So on the left in particular, if you vote for right now, if you vote for Cornel West, you're going to hand the election over to Donald Trump or DeSantis or the Republican Party in general, right? So here's the problem with this mentality, okay? Every time somebody fearmongers that about the end times that will surely come if we vote third party and hand the election over to the opposing party, those fears never materialize, okay? And why don't they materialize? Well, they don't materialize because the labor force runs this country, okay? And that labor force is much more resilient than we give them credit for. Okay, whoever's in the White House, it doesn't matter that much because the people are going to push on. Okay, we pushed on through a lot harder times than what the recent COVID years. We pushed through the Great Depression. We pushed through worse economic depressions than what we're in right now. We pushed through worse racial and social divides than we are in right now, and political divides. Bottom line, this fear that we're going to hand the election over to the opposition when we vote for a third party and we're going to slip into fascism within the next 4 years is just an irrational fear. Okay, but beyond that, let's and I'm addressing unlikely voters here, and I'll start by saying that I've never voted in my life, and I am the unlikely voter, and I'm changing to a likely voter. And what am I trying to get across here? So if half of us perceive, if 40% of the people don't vote because we perceive that the establishment candidates are terrible, and again that we choose not to vote because of it, then we hide that shared perception from each other. Okay, if 40% of the country hates the Democrats and Republicans and would probably vote for a third party, but they don't, again, we hide we're hiding from each other. We are hiding that perception of our power in that 40%. Okay, we're basically fooling each other into thinking it's hopeless to vote for a third party or for an anti-establishment candidate. Perception is everything here. Okay, if we perceive that voting for a third party is a waste of time because the third parties get 5% of the vote and 40% of the people are saying that to themselves, then again, we're hiding from each other. We're fooling each other into thinking it's a waste of time. It's a really simple concept here. And I, in the past, I didn't see it, okay? The point is that you have to vote, and I don't even care who you vote for. I'm more of a progressive person, but I don't care if you're right wing. You have to vote. And if you don't want to vote for one of the two major parties because they're a uniparty and because they are collectively taking us on this downward trend, then don't, okay? Vote for a third party. Write somebody in. It doesn't matter who you vote for. You need to make your protest vote seen, because if people don't see it, then they perceive that there's no chance that these third party candidates or these non-establishment candidates can win. It's a self-defeating prophecy, okay? We are hiding from each other, and then we are coming to the conclusion that we don't exist, basically. So personally, I'm probably going to write RFK in or Marianne Williamson in, but I may also vote for Cornel West. It depends on what the DNC does with RFK and Marianne Williamson. If they allow a debate between Biden and RFK and Marianne, then and Biden wins, then I'll probably vote Cornel West. But if the DNC does some shady shit, then I'm probably gonna write RFK or Marianne in, because again, the point is that you have to make your protest vote seen, even if you think that protest vote is a waste of time, even if it ends up being a waste of time this election. The fact is that perception will grow. The number of people voting for that third party will increase because, again, it's basically the consciousness will increase as people see that number going up over time. So if you're this person fear-mongering about handing the election over to the opposition by voting third party, again, you are owned by your fear, and I'm not a fearful person in that same way, and you shouldn't be either. Okay, if we allow these fears to keep voting for the lesser of two evils, then in the long term, that evil is going to compound into true evil, and that's exactly what's happening. So we need to stop voting for the lesser of two evils. We need to put our vote where our mouth is. We need to vote for those candidates we truly believe are the path forward. And if we keep falling for these establishment candidates that are increasingly dragging us down, then again, that evil is going to compound. So it starts now, because the sooner you start this, the better. Eventually that evil is going to get to the point of where it's going to cause a lot of harm, but I don't think we're there yet. Again, the labor force, the working class is the heart of this country, and they are more resilient than some people give them credit for. Okay, so you can't be fearful of short-term consequences when the long-term consequences are much more drastic, and the long-term consequences of voting for this uniparty, for these establishment candidates, is fascism. It's authoritarian fascism. And if you never take any risk, if you never take any risk, you're never going to change anything. And the risk you have to take is to vote for that third party, or vote for that non-establishment candidate, and raise the perception that they can win. That's the risk you have to take. Okay, you have to sacrifice short-term comforts for long-term success. That's how life works. So give that a little thought. Okay, I'm specifically talking to the unlikely voters here. We need to vote. It is very important to make your vote seen, no matter who it's for. You can write in yourself, for all I care. It doesn't matter. Thanks for watching.